Always my favorite part. All right. What do we got here? 3 seconds. All right, let's do this. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to hashtag TNT JoeFi, tech news that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. This is episode number something something because I lost count, and this is day number something something in quarantine because I also lost count. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to people on the Midwest and on the East Coast. Good morning to people on the West Coast, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everyone else around the world. Hopefully everyone's doing well today. It is a warm day here in Chicago. It rained a little bit today, but it's a little overcast at this point. But you know, summer's here for the most part. It's nice to have some warm weather. Did my hour walk this morning since I can't go to a gym, and yeah. That's about it. We kind of have a good amount of news today. I don't know how much I'm going to go through or what I'm going to talk about, but I also want to, note here for you guys, if there's anything you guys want to talk about, please feel free to talk about it in chat. I might not be able to go through everybody's chat, but always encourage you guys to talk and have a conversation, and I love to engage, so I appreciate that. So let me scroll up, let me say hi to everybody like I normally do. The one thing I always try to do is say hi to everybody for as long as I possibly can. I don't think the stream will ever get that big where I can't say hi to everybody. Hopefully that won't be the case. I always want to say hi to everyone, make sure that I appreciate you guys coming in. So Y 2019, hi. Hi, Y. How's it going, man? Nice to see you again, day after day. Always glad you could make it. Gandek is in here as well. Is that it? There you go, right? Gandak, welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you. Ellie J is here too. Hi, all. Hey, Ellie. Nice to see you. I don't remember if you've come in here before. But I'm glad you could make it. Appreciate you stopping by. Y 2019 says, I think the 14 will get the under display treatment, so you don't think until 2022. I can kind of see that too. We'll talk about it. We'll get into that. RSILIN NYC. What's up, Jerome? What's up, buddy? What's going on, man? How you doing? Appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for making the stream. Listening again while at work. Keep doing your thing. That's what I'm doing. Trying to. Appreciate you making the effort to just even if it's just to listen and check it out. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Juan Carlos Montez. Saludos. Saludos. What does that mean again? Does that mean hi? Not hi. I know that doesn't mean hi. Is that, I don't know. Tell me. I'm sorry. Juan Carlos, thanks for making the stream. Appreciate you could make it. Appreciate you stopping by. Team Verai. Hi Jerome. Hi everyone. Hope y'all are having a nice day. Good day so far, hanging in there. Got a couple things to talk about, but we'll get into that. I see Daniel Lupker here. Spicy, very spicy. Hey, Daniel, welcome to the stream, man. Deepak Murthy. What's up, Jerome? Not much, Deepak. Glad you can make it. Nice to see you again. Yeah, not a lot. Yeah, Ellie, I figured from, I know you're from Friday Night Tech Talk, but appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, Juan Carlos says, yes, hi, gotcha, got it. Brian is in here as well. What up, everyone? What up, Brian? What's going on, man? Okay, guys, let's get started. Let's talk about this iPhone. So this isn't, this is not concrete news, right? This isn't something that we know for sure. The iPhone 13 isn't even going to be available until 2021, and but there's a mock-up of it. And of course, if anyone gets a hold of any kind of mock-up or some kind of paper display or paper prototype or whatever, they're going to show it off. And so that's how our news coverage is usually. It's just get the news out before anyone else does. So this article from Apple Insider is talking about a questionable mock-up of the iPhone 13, shows USB-C under display Face ID. I mean, the rumors already have been talking about that the iPhone 13 wasn't even going to have USB-C, that it was going to be completely portless, and this prototype is already knocking that notion. I do think though that the iPhone 13 will probably be portless. I think that's my assumption on it, but let's talk about it. A 5.5-inch iPhone 13 for 2021, and it's this one here on the right, may sport a USB-C connector and notch-free design if a new 3D printed mock-up apparently sourced from leaked schematics and information is accurate. Though the iPhone 12 lineup has yet to be announced, rumors about the iPhone 13 sourced from accurate leakers are already circulating online. And just real quick, I don't know if this is supposed to be the mock-up for the iPhone 12. I'm assuming it is, but this notch is way too big. I know that the notch for the iPhone 12 is supposed to be a lot smaller. But yeah, just FYI. On Thursday, Japanese site Mac Otakara shared a new mock-up reportedly obtained from sources inside Alibaba of a supposed 5.5-inch iPhone with a notchless design. In a YouTube video a few days prior, the site shared similar mock-ups of the 2020 iPhone 12. So I'm going to play it here just so you guys can see this mock-up. Actually, let me make this a little smaller so you can see the whole thing. So yeah, the big thing on it is an under display camera. I wonder if that's something they're really going to do. I would love to see it because I'd love for Apple to get rid of the notch on the iPhone. I mean, I use my iPhone every day. It's not something that I notice, every time I use it, but I would love to have a notchless design. This has 5 dots in the back. I don't, obviously it's a prototype, so none of it is done. We don't even know if this is the real thing or not. And I guess he's showing here that it has a USB-C connector. So we'll continue on. Along with ultra-thin bezels, the newest mock-up features a true depth and FaceTime camera setup located in the front center. And the site claims that Apple could use Samsung's under-display technology to make it work. So it also makes me wonder is Apple going to be the first to do an under display, or is it going to be Samsung, or is it going to be, it might be another company, right? Maybe it's OnePlus or whatever, but I wonder which one of the big companies is going to do the under the display camera first. I don't see Apple doing it that quickly just because they usually take longer before they release a feature like this. Also because they usually want to perfect it before it comes out. Although when Face ID came out, I didn't think it was the best thing when it came out on the iPhone 10, but You never know. So interestingly, Otakara's mockup also features a USB-C connector on the bottom. That makes the site an outlier as far as the ports for the 2021 iPhones. I also don't believe that Apple will release an iPhone with USB-C ever. I still believe, and I think John Processor was the one who pointed that out, that the iPhone would probably go portless before it ever used USB-C. And I kind of agree with that. I don't think Apple wants to switch things up and go USB-C, because even if their plan is to go portless, what are they going to go USB-C for 1 year, 2 years at most? I just don't see it happening. So it says here, instead relying on wireless charging and a smart connector, analyst Ming-Chi Kao, who has a long track record of accurate forecasts, says that the iPhone 13 lineup will have a completely wireless experience. And I can see that. It wouldn't surprise me if it would. My question is, if Apple were to release an iPhone like that, do you think they would do a completely portless phone and a completely notchless phone at the same time? Because that would be cool to see, just because it's technology kind of, I guess at its forefront, or, in the most forward way possible. I can't say Apple is the most forward company either, but you know what I'm saying. A completely notchless design, a completely portless design. That would be interesting to see. So it says here on the rear side, the mockup features an early camera module with 5 dots that suggests testing different camera modules. In May, a leaker claimed that the iPhone 13 could sport a 4-camera setup with LiDAR technology, which is what's going to be coming on the iPhone 12. Not 4 cameras, right? 3 cameras with LiDAR. The Japanese site says this is just one prototype under development, so it's possible that it depicts a design that will ultimately not be used. Mac Otakara admits that it is, quote, highly likely that it won't end up being a final model. And I agree. If anything, kind of a fluff article, but it's a prototype to share, and it brings up the conversation of when Apple is going to offer a notchless design. When is anyone going to offer a notchless design? Or, there are notchless designs now with a selfie pop-up camera, which is something I want. But when are they actually going to get rid of a selfie pop-up camera? When are they going to get rid of a notch or a hole punch design, whatever, and they actually end up with something under the display? I don't know how good that technology is. We've seen videos of it happening, but I don't know how good it is. Obviously, it's not that good if it's not out yet. Because even companies that know that they can't, even companies that half-ass it will still put it out. Certain companies will do it, and there's really been nothing out for it yet. So, yeah, just thought it was an interesting conversation. Thought I would bring it up. Let me scroll back into chat here. Why 2019 says Apple doesn't usually change the design 2 years in a row. Very true. I see Ronaldo in here. What's up, Jerome? What's up, Ronaldo? I haven't seen you in a minute. Nice to see you. Glad you can make it. I actually wanted to talk to you because I am in the process. Where is it right now? Is it? Oh, yeah. I'm in the process of getting my my OnePlus 6T unlocked. So, the phone was paid off a while ago, but you can't unlock it without getting the whole unlock code from T-Mobile and whatever. But I'll message you. We'll talk about that. So Ronaldo, thanks for making the stream. Nice to see you, man. Hopkins is in here as well. Hopkins, how's it going, man? I hope they are not removing the charging port and go full wireless as rumors are suggesting. Wait, you hope they're not removing it? Oh, so you want them to have the port? Yeah, I hear you there. I would rather. So for me, to be honest with you, I'd rather they get rid of the Lightning port, put the USB-C port in there, so then phones can be more universal and we can still access the phones the way we need to. But I think that day is coming where they're going to be getting rid of it all. I mean, I feel you. I would rather have that as well. I just don't know if that's going to be a thing. Deepak says Apple is a perfectionist, usually not an innovator, and that's a great way of putting it. They want to get it right before they put it out. And I agree. I feel the same way. Yeah, Mint Arcade, Mint Arcade. Welcome, man. I know it's super late for you, Mint Arcade. What's going on? Apple's Lightning connector is still USB-C 2.0. Yuck. Yeah, I'm ready for this Apple Lightning connector to be gone, but you know, Apple, I mean, imagine how much money Apple has made off of their Lightning connector. I mean, tons with that proprietary system. And why would Apple switch? They have no reason to switch at this point. Let's see here. Deepak says Samsung, LG, Google, Huawei innovate and throw new tech to consumers as lab experiment testers. Yep, I said that before too. We are like the guinea pigs for a lot of that stuff. I mean, look at foldable phones, and people are paying $1,500 or whatever to be that guinea pig. I mean, obviously, it has a benefit for them as well. They get to show it off and whatever, and be like, hey, I have the latest and greatest, but I mean, I can't spend the money for it. I can't see myself doing it. I see Team Verizon says, I can't imagine a portless phone, to be honest. I like my cables. I'm the same way. I still connect wired through everything. I've talked about this with you guys before. I don't, even though I have a ton of phones that have wireless capability, wireless charging capability, I don't even use any of it. I still plug up my iPhone 11 Pro. I still plug up my Pixel 4. And I do with the rest of my phones. That might change sooner or later. It's not happening right now. So let's see here. Y says, I think the quote normal phones will go with USB-C, but max 18 watt, and the pros will go with ultra fast wireless. I can see that too. I mean, that's just the way that tech has been going, right? You look at the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, they get rid of that because, I just love how the marketers try to make it look like if you have wired earbuds or wired headphones, that's the poor way of doing it, right? Everything wireless, everything portless, because that's what the rich people do. That's what the elite do. I see Adam Reviews Tech here. Adam Reviews Tech. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you. I expect Apple to do use this year's redesign for the 12 for at least 2 years. So maybe the iPhone 13 is notchless and portless, but there is an iPhone 12s for 2021. Okay, so wait. So this year they're going to I expect Apple this year's redesign for at least 12. So because Apple, right, for the iPhone 12 this year, it is going to be a smaller notch, right? It's going to have thinner bezels. So there's going to be a 12 and then a 12S, right? In 2021. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm with you. It took me a second to kind of like put all of that in my head. And so we're talking notchless and portless in 2022. Is that what you're saying? I can see that. And I think Y was saying the same thing. So, but either way, Adam Reviews Tech. I'm assuming you are a tech YouTuber. I'm assuming by the channel. Adam, thanks for making it the stream, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Okay, let me scroll. Adam says, God, I butchered my last comment. You're good. Hopefully I translated that properly. Y 2019 says, I think 2021 will be the beginning of the actual under display phones, and Apple will adopt it at 2022. Yeah. And then Mint Arcade says a little forehead plus chin is way better than notch. Completely agree. Brian and I have talked about this as well. I would rather have a forehead and a chin on a phone instead of a notch. Go ahead and put the selfie camera up top there. And then if you're going to give us a forehead and chin, might as well give us our front facing dual stereo speakers, right? Might as well give us that. I would rather have that than any kind of notch, any kind of teardrop, any kind of hole punch, whatever you want to call it, design that they're putting it there. Ronaldo says, all right, Jerome, been super busy with the new job, so I missed a few streams. Please do not apologize about missing a few streams. Not at all, man. Just glad whenever you guys can make it. Glad when anyone can make it. Appreciate it. Ronaldo, we'll talk though. We'll talk. Mint Arcade says Hopkins, they may do away with the lightning connector and use smart connector as a replacement. Yeah, we've talked about that as well. Okay, guys, I can't get through every single text here, chat here, but I'll try. Can't justify that $1,000 price tag for me, way too high. And it is. It's super expensive. $1,000 is that's why it's weird though, because for a while I've been saying I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a phone. I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a phone. I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a phone. But I think my only exceptions where I'm going to spend over $500 on a phone is if it's an iPhone or if it's a Pixel. And I know I am going against everything I have been advocating for, but I feel like those are the two phones that have the top spec cameras. And for me, at least as a reviewer, I want to test the cameras, and I feel like I need to get those phones so I know who the king is for the year. Unless another phone ends up being the king of the year, which might be very well. Yesterday, when we were talking about the Huawei P40 Pro, I was like, wow, these cameras actually look really good. But yeah, for most people, I would suggest not spending $1,000 for a phone because it's just way too much. Brian says won't do notchless and portless simultaneously. You don't think they would? You think they'll do one before? Oh, well, because money, right? Because a marketing thing. I could see that. We'll see. Okay. Deepak says here, when Apple adopts the technology, it becomes mainstream. Yep. 5G will shoot up from iPhone 12 onwards. I can see that as well. Ellie says, I messed up that comment price. I meant 1,500. So you'll spend 1,000. But not 1,500. Your threshold is way higher than mine, because 1,000 is just, it's so much already. But yes, 1,500 is also equally as expensive. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and let's move on here. But before I do, real quick, for anybody that's on here just now or just making it or whatever, please feel free to like the stream. Liking the stream helps me in an algorithmic kind of way, aka I think it helps people find the stream, helps people find what's going on, talk and chat, talk about what's going on, engage in the community. If you guys are not subscribers, I do stream weekdays as well, every weekday around this time. So feel free to be a subscriber. And real quick, if you see people in the chat with green in their name, if you see a red Chicago star next to their name, that is because they are a member of my channel. And you could be a member too for as little as 99 cents a month. Do you guys like my little sales pitch here? It's as easy as clicking the join button. You can be a member as well. You can get the green in your name. You can get the red Chicago star in the name. And you'll also get to use certain emoji, custom emoji. Actually, if I get one more new subscriber today, I think I get 20 new members, and then I get to add another emoji. So we get another one to use as well. All you got to do is click that join button. If you can't find that join button, all you got to do is go to youtube.com/phone Jerome/join. You also get your name in the intros and outros of all of my live streams. So again, for people who are new or whatever, that is my little marketing spiel. But we'll move on. And actually, this next story is about it's another article from Apple Insider, and it's talking about repair shops. Well, it's right to repair, but kind of not. So actually, Mike, if you guys don't know, Mike is Simply Your Device. He is another fellow tech YouTuber who I'm very good friends with, and Mike actually sent me this article, and he was like, hey, maybe you want to talk about this today. And I read it, and I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely go over it. So this article is actually pretty interesting, and this article is saying repair shop loses the legal battle with Apple over, quote, counterfeit iPhone screen import. So I read through this article, and I have a few thoughts on it, and we'll talk about it. So in the conclusion of a 2-year back and forth legal battle, an independent repair shop in Norway has lost an appeal over the import so-called, quote, counterfeit Apple iPhone screens. In a ruling passed down on Thursday, an appeals court affirmed a judgment over independent repair shop owner Henrik Husseby, I'm thinking, is now on the hook for not just destroying what Apple calls counterfeit iPhone screens he bought from China, but also for Apple's legal costs of about $26,000. So he got sued. He's an independent, he fixes phones, and I guess he fixes iPhones as well. And he ended up getting sued from Apple because he was repairing iPhones. And now he lost that battle, and now Apple is charging him to pay $26,000 for doing this. Husaby owns a small electronics repair shop called PC Company. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know the pronunciation well. In Norway, to supply parts for that business, he ordered a shipment of 63 iPhone 6 and iPhone 6s replacement screens from Asia, which were seized by Norwegian customs agents in 2017 of July. So again, he bought these screens for the iPhone 6, iPhone 6s, bought over 60 of them. They were seized, and he got in trouble for it. Following the Norwegian government informing Apple, the company had a lawyer represented the company propose a settlement. This settlement, as pitched, entailed Husaby paying $3,500, destroying the screens, and promising to no longer sell or deal with any products that infringe Apple's trademarks. Husaby refused the settlement and took Apple to court. The case hinged on the question of how exactly Husaby obtained the Chinese parts and how they were marked. The phone screens in question were Apple parts refurbished by Chinese resellers, but with the branding obscured. Reports vary whether the branding were completely obliterated or just marked over with a permanent marker. So, I mean, I guess that's the first issue right there. So you bought these parts. I don't know if he knew how reputable, how legal this company was, but for all of the screens to be, I don't know, kind of to have the branding or whatever obscured or like marked off or scratched off, kind of already puts into question the validity of these parts. Now, is it the owner's fault? I don't know. I'm not a legal person here, but I do have a few opinions on right to repair, and we'll kind of get into that. I'd love your thoughts on it too, guys. But so the first ruling on that matter led a win for Husaby. So he won that first battle. However, Apple appealed and won a verdict of the destruction plus payment of Apple's legal costs of about $12,000. I don't know why this is saying $12,000 when earlier it says $26,000. Anyway, regardless, it's a lot of money. We're sending strength and moral support to Henrik Husaby today. Advocacy group Right to Repair Europe said in a statement to the Register. He took a stand where other businesses were afraid to, and he will pay a heavy price. Apple has frequently cracked down on suspected counterfeiters, including the seizure of more than 1 million in fake accessories from a London warehouse in 2017 and general warnings about third-party and counterfeit power accessories. It's even gone after counterfeit accessories for sale on Amazon. Apple has also historically opposed right to repair laws, which have been proposed in 20 US states. So here's the thing. This is a hard one for me because I believe in right to repair, right? I believe that if you buy my iPhone 11 Pro, I bought that phone. I paid $1,000 for that. I paid more than that. I paid $1,100 after taxes for that phone. That phone is mine. I should be able to do what I want with that phone, right? If I break my iPhone 11 Pro and I want to fix it myself, I should be able to fix it myself, right? I guess the issue here is this is a person who wants to fix iPhones for a living and either replace a battery or do whatever. Now, I don't know about him sourcing the screens. That's another question. But I feel like as a businessman who wants to like fix a phone, if he knows how to do it and he does it properly, that's his right to do so. Now, the issue here is Apple refuses to give people schematics on how to fix stuff because Apple wants to completely control that segment. It's our phone. We own it. We're the only ones who can fix it. We're the only ones that can do anything to it. You know, if your battery is dead or dying, we will be the only ones that can replace that battery and nobody else can. We're not giving that schematics, those blueprints to anyone else because we designed it, we made it, and no one else can touch it. I have an issue with that. It would be like telling people, hey, you bought a Nissan from us. We're the only people that can fix your Nissan. We're the only ones that can change the oil on your car, and you can only use our oil. We can only charge whatever we charge for it, and you can never bring it to a third party dealer, manufacturer, whatever, right? To get it fixed. and I'm not, that doesn't sit well with me, because that's really monopolizing on the industry. And I'll go through comments, and you guys can agree or disagree, but I think that we should have a right to repair. I mean, I don't think that should be already. I already think it's fucked up that companies solder batteries into the phones, right? Because remember back in the day when when we had removable backs on phones and we could replace the battery ourselves. But now they don't do that. They solder it and they say, well, it's for waterproofing and blah, blah, blah. But I think a lot of that is more because, hey, the battery's dead. I don't want to deal with replacing this battery. I'm just going to buy a new phone. And that makes more money for the manufacturer, right? That's my speculation. That's how I feel about it. I mean, maybe it isn't. Maybe there are real issues about, but I don't buy it. I don't buy that shtick. Now, there's a YouTuber that I actually follow. His name is I'm probably gonna butcher his name. It's Lewis. I think Lewis Rossman, and I actually follow him. I don't follow a lot of tech YouTubers, but I follow him, and it's not that he fixes like PlayStations, he fixes Xboxes, and he kind of shares what goes wrong with them. But he has been going to a lot of legal battles with, I think, Apple for right to repair. And I love his channel because he's trying to stand up for the everyday person and say, hey, this is our this is our stuff. Like, we should be able to do what we want with it. But he kind of goes there and he kind of calls out like the lobbyists that go there, that says that Lewis has no grounds to speak about what he's speaking about. And, oh, this is, whatever kind of money these companies pay people to say whatever they want. I'm not the most versed. I'm not the most well versed on this kind of stuff, but I do believe in right to repair. This guy, Hussaby, again, him sourcing the screens, the displays, that kind of puts other things into question. So I don't know how that goes. Like, if he bought them counterfeit, or he knew they were counterfeit, or he knew they weren't legit. But I don't know. I mean, who's to say what you could do or what you can't do with a phone if you want to repair it or mod it? I mean, what about if somebody, I have a friend who had, and he did it, and he loves messing with his iPhone. And what he used to do is he would crack open the iPhone and he would put a light in the back. Remember when Apple's like on my MacBook Pro is not behind me, but remember when Apple has the light up design? He wanted to do that with his iPhone, and there were mods to do it. Who's to say that someone can't do that if they wanted to? Like, why can't people mod stuff on? I don't know. That's and people can talk about, well, you're going to void the warranty. I think once you break open that phone, the warranty is already voided already. I don't know. I feel a lot of ways about it. And I don't know all the ins and outs, but let me go to chat. We'll talk about it. And a new member, Ellie J. Ellie J became a new YouTube member. Ellie J, welcome. Thank you. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much, Ellie. Thank you welcome to the Phone Jerome squad, team, community, whatever you want to call it. Ellie J, thank you so much. You now have access to the green in your name and the red Chicago badge next to it, and all the custom emoji and whatever else comes along with it. I'll add your name to the intro and outro. You'll be on there for tomorrow, LEJ. So thank you so much for being a new member. Thank you. Thanks for the support. Okay, guys, let me scroll back up here. Okay, you guys have a good amount of chat in here too. So let me talk about let's talk about it. I want to get your thoughts because I want to see what you guys have to say. Okay, so yeah, Ellie J says we'll join. Well, thank you, Ellie. Thank you so much. Ronaldo, become a member. Thank you for the support. Sorry, guys, I'm not going to be able to go through everything. Why? It is your birthday today. Well, happy birthday. Why didn't you say that at the beginning? Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hopkins says, if someone knows Lewis Rossman knows what the article is talking about. Hopkins. Yes, exactly what I was talking about. The computer technician from New York, he hates Apple computers. Daniel says, if I remember correctly, if you don't marker off the Apple logo, Apple will have custom seize the product. And if you do, they will say that you are damaging and making a counterfeit item or something. Thank you for sharing that because I didn't know how that works. And I'm sure Apple has their whole legal process on how that works and how to make sure that they're going to make it as difficult as possible for a company or a business to try to fix other Apple products because Apple wants to keep that monopolization going. And I know they're going to, here's what's going to bother me. And I know I shouldn't let it, but I know there are going to be a couple people that says, so what? That's Apple stuff. Let Apple do what they want. Let them do. And again, the whole point, I can go back to car manufacturers and saying other manufacturer, like places like a Jiffy Lube or like, a third party independent, like repair shop shouldn't fix other cars. It should only be the dealerships. And that's the issue. You nix out competition like that. You push away competition, and that company will monopolize, and they will price things however they want. They will price it whatever they deem fit to give them the most profits. I mean, look at this guy who lost this battle. I look at it and I'm like, he probably had no chance because they appealed it. Apple's going to appeal it. Of course, they have money to appeal it. Does this businessman have enough money? He doesn't have a team of lawyers. He most likely doesn't. At least he says he owns a small electronic shop. Again, this is me. And Daniel knows, if Daniel's still in here, Daniel, the news team, the news org we work with, like we talk about that kind of corruption and talk about that kind of like imbalance and injustice. And I just don't think it's right that one company can monopolize on a thing like repairing a phone. Like, you guys already manufacture it. And I give credit to where credit is due, right? You make a good product, you make a solid product. I speak highly of it. I don't speak highly of the price on an iPhone, but there has to be a line where things have to, I don't know. Things just have to be fair. Let me just go into chat. I know I sound like a broken record because I say a lot of that stuff already, but yeah. Okay, so let me see here. Brian says Apple just being jerks trying to make more money. Deepak says, I ordered a Lenovo ThinkPad thanks to Louis Rossmann. Yeah, I like his channel. I do. I appreciate his work. I really do. Hopkins says he is absolutely right. You should be able to repair your devices your own. Daniel says the U.S. military makes the most money not off the sale of weaponry, but off the sale of replacement parts that only they supply. It's an enormously profitable venture. There you go. There you go. If anyone knows this stuff, it's Daniel. Daniel with that knowledge. Thank you for sharing. Ellie says, have always believed in right to repair. Yeah, completely agree. Deepak says their Touch ID sensor is hard coded to the display, so no third party display replacements. Yeah, I think I remember reading that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, these companies are going to do everything they can to make sure that they can make the most profit of it. They can make it as difficult as possible for someone to replace a battery, something as simple as replacing a battery. And that's what happens with proprietary systems. Think about all the money Apple has made off of the Lightning connector, the Lightning port. Imagine if they switched to USB-C 3-4 years ago. Imagine all the money they would have lost. But they get to make their money because of a proprietary system. I know there are going to be people who are going to say, well, that's smart. That's I'm like, my head is a little offset. That's smart, Jerome. Like, they're just being smart marketers. Well, maybe so, but I just think that there's a line that shouldn't be crossed when it comes to the consumer and big corporations and big money and people fucking other people over. And I don't budge on that. I really don't. That's how I feel about a lot of things. That's how I feel about human rights. That's how I feel about like equal pay. Like there are things where I'm like, okay, well, yeah, maybe that's the most way you're going to make, or maybe that's the biggest way you're going to make the most money and whatever. And capitalism, people should make as much as they want. Well, I don't agree with that. I don't. And so when it comes to things like that, and just somebody who's just trying to make a living and trying to like put better competition to companies or whatever, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I'm not going to budge on that. And it's fine if you guys disagree. Like, I have no problem with that. It is what it is. I just don't think we should be living in such a I guess, a society where, and I said this before, it shouldn't always be profit over people. It shouldn't. Okay, let's move on, guys. Let's get, I didn't realize I was going to talk about that for so long, and we're already 40 minutes into the hour here. So I have this article from GSM Arena. Oh God, this is such a long article. I thought this is what I was going to spend most of my time going on about, but maybe, you know what, maybe we'll save this for another day, because we'll save it for tomorrow, because this is a long story. Should I save it for another day? No, let's talk about it. Sorry, I'm just in my head, I'm just thinking how the schedule goes. Maybe we'll have a long show today. We'll see. This article from GSM Arena is talking about the Xiaomi Poco F2 Pro. It is a review. Well, actually, I have to talk about it, because didn't I put this in the title? So the reason I'm talking about this phone, the reason I want to talk about it, is because the Xiaomi Poco F2 Pro is a phone that is running a Snapdragon 800 series chipset, so a higher end chipset at a lower price, lower than most other Snapdragon 800 series phones today. And again, I talk about this stuff because I always talk about price to performance value and trying to find, the best phone that you can for your money. And everybody has different priorities, but this is what I want to talk about, or I wanted to talk about it because I want to share how I feel like this is a good phone for the money. I just don't know how good the UI is. I don't know how good the camera is. And I thought we'd, go ahead and talk about it. So let me switch back to this screen here. So this is a very in-depth article, and I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but we'll talk about some key points, and if anything, we'll revisit it again. What I like about the Xiaomi Poco F2 Pro is this right here. This is the selfie pop-up camera. I want a phone so bad with a selfie pop-up camera, so I can have a phone that's completely notchless on the front. We just talked about this. And I wouldn't mind a pop-up camera at all. Give me that. I'll take it. I still think it's a cool feature to show in front of other people. Like, yeah, you have this stupid like notch on your phone or this punch hole. Like my screen isn't obscured by that. Like, look at this. And people are like, Jerome, you're such a nerd. Like, nobody cares except you. Anyway, well, Xiaomi did it again 2 years after the release of the Poco F1. The company was still able to undercut the competition, even with this significant price increase. The Poco F2 Pro will probably cost less in India than in Europe, but the point stands. The phone is still lighter on the budget compared to the alternatives powered by the Snapdragon 865 chip. If you guys don't know, the Snapdragon 865 is the latest and greatest Snapdragon chipset out there right now. Most phones that have that chipset price in at over $700, 700 right now being the cheapest for the OnePlus 8. The Poco F2 Pro is the 865, right? Or is it the 855 plus? No, I think it's the 865. And I think this phone prices at around the 500-ish price point. I can't remember now, but we'll read into it. It was able to find a sweet spot in the flagship killer price bracket, but there are still some phones worth considering that roam in the same territory. The Realme X50 Pro 5G comes to mind as a potential alternative. First, the handset might be a bit more expensive than the Poco F2 Pro at around €600 in Europe and a little less in India, INR 47,999. But it's the better phone overall. The overall camera experience with proper telephoto, high refresh rate display, and faster charging might be worth your extra money. Ultimately, the F2 Pro offers the same performance for less while having a better battery life as well. And then I think they talk about the screen. I think the screen's only FHD display, so it's not the highest screen as far as quality or specs or whatever. The downside of this deal would be the shorter battery life and the older. Oh, this is for the OnePlus 7T, because right now you could buy a OnePlus 7T for $500 US, which I think is still a great deal. Anyway, so yeah, the F2 Pro I think is the 865 chipset in it. Battery life is remarkable. Oh, this is already the conclusion page. I already was at the last end of this page. So anyway, we'll keep it short since we're already 3/4 into it. The pros: it's a really nice build and a design, a super bright and color accurate OLED screen, great battery life, a great price to performance ratio. It still has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So the cons, it doesn't have a telephoto camera. The screen doesn't have the high refresh rate. It doesn't have stereo speakers. Low light photography is not the best, but look at that price. $500. That's super cheap. That's super cheap for a phone that has an 865 chipset. We'll go into the camera here real quick just to see what kind of quality, because I really haven't had a chance to go through it. This is really, really in depth. I should have taken the time to kind of go through it, but I didn't have the time today. The shots are kind of dark though. Like this is just really like it's missing the exposure, the dynamic range in there, but it is overcast as well. So it's hard to kind of compare it since I don't have other phones to compare it to. For the low light phones or the low light photos, why do I feel like I've seen this before? But these aren't bad. They're not bad at all, especially for a $500 phone. Either way, what I kind of wanted to get at though is I went to GearBest to see, because I was like, man, maybe I'll buy this phone for $500, but I can't. It says here no more shipping method to the United States, so I can't even buy one if I wanted to. But $500, well, I'm assuming this is US, right? For the 6 gig, 126 gig RAM, 128 gig internal storage version, and I can't buy one. So it says here it ships from Hong Kong or it ships from France. Either way, $500 and I can't buy one, and that's kind of a womp womp for me. Do any of you guys in the market for a Poco F2 Pro? Is that something that any of you guys are looking into? They have a bunch of different colors here. I was just wondering if anyone was thinking about buying one, or if you guys aren't because you don't like Poco's UI or the camera isn't going to be the best. Kind of curious. I don't think there's a cheaper phone right now that I could buy with a Snapdragon 865 for $500 US. I would have loved to buy it just to test it out, just to see how well the performance is and the speed is, and if I could mod it in a certain way, because eventually it'll be able to be modded. I wish I could get one. But now that I see it, even though it's $500 and it doesn't ship to the US, is that because I can't use it in the US? Will it not work on T-Mobile? Will it not work on AT&T? Because if that's the case, then there's no point in me having one. So anyway, that's it for the Poco F2 Pro. Let me go ahead and scroll up. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. Okay, let me see here. Y says Pixel is interesting, but yet to be worth it to me over Redmi Notes. Yep. I'm forgetting all the specs on a Redmi Note, but I know that the price point on a Redmi Note is probably a lot better than what you can get on a Pixel. Deepak says Apple will probably never switch to USB-C. Yep. Agree. They want exclusivity in their ports. Mahir Pandharepande. Hopefully I'm saying that name right, Mahir. Mahir, welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you again. The day doesn't seem too far when they figure out a way to force users into buying only Apple phone cases. Oh my God, can you imagine that? Luckily, I don't use cases on my phones, but I can only imagine that day. I mean, what else is next, right? But it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me, Mahir. Welcome to the stream, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Let's see here. Juan Carlos says, I really miss phones with removable batteries. I do too. Do you guys remember? I did a stream. Was it a stream? No, I think this is when I was still living in Southern California, shortly before I came home. Wasn't the one Galaxy phone. God, I'm already forgetting what that Galaxy phone was. But that had a removable battery in it. Remember? What was that phone called? God, there's just so many phones I go through, I forget. Sean's in here. Sean, how's it going, man? Do it anyway. Do what anyway? I don't know if I was bitching about something earlier or you're talking to someone else, but Sean, welcome to the stream, man. Glad you can make it. Paul is in here too. Paul, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, that's why I love Android, being able to repair with third-party stuff. But as much as I'm curious about Google's proprietary chip, it means they have more Apple-like hold on repairs. And you might have a point. They might. I mean, Google likes to, at least in my perspective, in my opinion, I feel like Google kind of just walks similar footsteps as Apple, or at least they try to do what they're doing, maybe in not all of their ways, but maybe in the Pixel department. it's not something that I particularly like seeing. But here's my thought on it. Again, I'm all about right to repair. I'm all about these businesses adding more competition or whatever. But the one thing I will give Apple is Apple makes a solid product. At the end of the day, Apple makes a solid product with their iPhone. And if that will help Google make a solid product for their Pixel, I would be welcome to it. If it can fix the battery, if it can fix support and longevity, it, here's the thing. I can confidently say that most people with an iPhone are going to be able to keep that for 2 years with zero issues. They'll probably be able to keep it for 3 years with zero issues, and maybe longer because the support there is for it. It doesn't mean that I like them having, soldered batteries and eventually portless phones, and you can only buy their stuff for it. But every company is doing the same thing, and that's no excuse. It isn't an excuse, but like, I have to give credit where credit is due. They do make a solid product, but I hear you on an Android, and why owning an Android gives you a little more freedom than an Apple does. It really does. Anyway, Paul, welcome, man. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you. Okay, let me scroll down here. Team Verizon says, all this time I thought Poco went independent. They're still under Xiaomi, it seems. Yeah, I still think they're, no matter what, at the end of the day, they're still a sub brand of someone else. And again, we've tried to figure this out and try to break it down, but I'm still forgetting who's who. So yeah, Deepak says, this looks like a beast, but what about international warranty from GearBest? Yeah, I have no idea. Again, I have this Galaxy A71 and it doesn't have warranty. So yeah, I think at that point it's buy it at your own risk. $500 though is pretty cheap. It really is for a phone that is packing a Snapdragon 865. Paul says, I like to root and put on a different ROM. That's what I want to start doing. The F1 has a lot of development support. So I think the F2 Pro will too. Yeah, I totally agree. If the F1 is any indicator, the F2 will have it as well. Tony Pazzo, what's the fixation for the latest processor? What do you do that requires you to have the latest processor? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Here's the thing, Tony. It isn't. And I've said this already using the Galaxy A71. It's not a fixation, right? It's not a fixation on the processor. It's the fact that why not have the best performing chipset or performance chipset at hand? Like, why shouldn't that be a thing? My issue here is the fact that, and so I really have to kind of pin this down, is the fact that here is a Poco F2 Pro with a Snapdragon 865 selling for $500, right? $500. And then there's talk about the Pixel 5 that's going to have a Snapdragon 765 at $700. The LG Velvet that's selling right now with that same Snapdragon 765 for also $700. That's where my issue is. I think what I'm trying to do is trying to find a balance between performance, price, and there are other things to factor, right? Because maybe the Pixel 5, yeah, it might have a 765 G chipset, but it might have an outstanding camera, a camera that will easily outperform this Poco F2 Pro. But then again, I take a look at something like the OnePlus 7T that also prices at $500, and that has a Snapdragon 855 plus chipset that will still run circles around whatever Snapdragon 765 chipset comes around. And it's not. Here's the thing: my Galaxy A71 is running a Snapdragon 730 chipset that will perform. That's been performing fine. I already admitted to it. I don't know if you watched that video or not. It runs like well and good for me. I'm able to do everything I need to do on it. But there are other people, right, who will game on their phones. I'm not a gamer. So in that anecdotal example, yeah, for me, it's fine. For me, I haven't noticed any hiccups, which I'm actually very, very happy about, which also, again, gives me hope for the 765G. But for people who do game on their phone, for people and which is actually surprising. I'm surprised how many people actually edit video on their phones. That's something when I found out a lot of people edit video on their phones, I'm like, really? I thought and I guess yeah, that's an opportunity for people. And I'm sure there are people who would rather have it render it better than anything else. I don't know. To me, I also think it's kind of a slap in the face that the iPhone has the fastest chipset, performs really well, and prices at $400 for their one. I always say OnePlus SE, their iPhone SE. But my final point to that is also the longevity and the support. Is this Galaxy A71 right now might be running well for me right now, but what if somebody wanted to buy this phone and they plan to keep it 3 years down the road or 4 years down the road? Then where does that performance go? Like that's kind of why I feel like the loyalty for a brand like Apple stays true to where it is, because people know that they can keep that phone for some time. Like my one friend had the original iPhone SE, and he's still using it today because it's still doing what it needs to do. Like, it isn't the fastest and it isn't the best, but it's held up longer and probably better performing than any Android phone that has come out over the years. I mean, that's the thing. And so, like, I don't know. It's weird. I take slight offense on fixation, because it's kind of like, why wouldn't you want the best performance out of something without getting price gouged on it? And I think that's why I sit here and I talk about prices and I talk about performance specs, because I think it's important still. Yeah. Anyway, Tony, welcome, man. I'm glad you could make it. I'm glad you could make it. I know. I kind of like, companies are using specs on paper to sell their products. Of course they are. And so, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. The performance specs on a chipset matter more than whatever specs you see on a camera, right? Because we all know 108 megapixel camera is bullshit versus a 12 megapixel camera on, say, an iPhone, right? Because that Galaxy S20 Ultra, I'm sure that 108 megapixels does not completely outperform the iPhone 11 Pro's camera with 12 megapixels on it. So in terms of that, yeah, that's just dick measuring, right? We're just having a pissing contest at that point. But performance is performance at the end of the day. That is still raw performance power for whatever you're using on it. Again, just because it works for one person or two people doesn't mean that it's going to be like that for everybody. And then again, there's also longevity and all that kind of stuff too. And it's also not performance, because we can also talk about the software experience and like how well these phones are optimized for whatever phone that they're put on, which is why Apple does so well with a lot of their stuff too, which is again, you kind of have to give credit to a product that's able to do stuff like that. Okay, let me see here. Sean was saying I was talking about your decision of discussing the article. No, you're fine, Sean. No worries, man. Daniel says, is there a phone maker out there that still lets you put in your own battery? So not your own battery, but I don't know if you caught me saying this, Daniel, but there was that one Samsung phone that not just got put out, but Samsung just released a phone that has a removable battery on it. And I miss phones with removable batteries, because back in my day, I'm not that old. I'm kind of old. When I had my Samsung Galaxy Nexus, I actually never. It's funny, when I had my Galaxy Nexus, that had a removable battery, and I actually never plugged that phone to charge it, because all I did was charge the battery, and every time the battery would die, or go low, I would just snap the back off, swap the battery, and that's it. That was easier for me than charging it up and then being tethered to a cable. And I miss those days. I really do. I really do. Tony says craziest thing is that the iPhone SE original is getting iOS 14. It is, man. It's crazy. Aaron, hey, Aaron Jude, how's it going, man? How you doing? Hi, can you trust a high-end spec phone for a cheap rate? That's a really good question. And I think the best answer I can say there is you would be buying it at your own risk. I think I would only buy a phone that's high end specs at a cheap price if I knew there was actual dev support for it, because I really wouldn't trust the UI, especially for being uh, especially for being what am I thinking here? Uh, for support. I just don't know the longevity of support on a phone that you can buy for cheap, because I think that's where they cut corners. They'll probably put high end specs, but they'll probably cut corners on support, and that's when devs need to step up and kind of have their say or try to do what they can on their phones. So but yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Team Verizon says Apple software and hardware support are what tempt me to move over sometimes, and I think that's what it does for a lot of people. And so I hear you. Okay, let's see here. Tony says, "Do you have me cracking up, Jerome? Fun ride home." Hey, man, it's all about having a good conversation. Am I right? Um, I feel, and you know, Tony, you make really valid points, and you make good points, and I always appreciate a good discussion with anybody. And they're really valid points. They really are. And that's something I talk about a lot too. Is sometimes a lot of this stuff is it's a pissing contest. It's a dick measuring contest, and that's why I tell people, don't worry about 5G right now. Don't worry that a phone says 108 megapixels, because we know that's a bunch of BS. But there are days where some of that has some validity. So okay, anyway, moving on. Wow, we rounded out the hour. I'm only like halfway into the not going to be able to go through all these stories, guys. Actually, you know what? Real quick, I will do this since we're already at the hour point. Guys, if you are just coming in, or you're listening, or you're watching, please feel free to like the stream. Liking the stream helps in an algorithmic kind of way, aka I think it helps people find the stream. Also, it helps people find the chat. So guys, if you're lurking or you're listening, please feel free to say hi. We have a pretty good batch of people here. It's always a good conversation. I also don't bite. I'm a pretty nice guy, I think. So feel free to say hi. I also do stream weekdays every day, Monday through Friday. So if you are not a subscriber, feel free to subscribe. We're going to do this again every day during the weekdays. And last but not least, if you see people with green in their name or a red Chicago star in their name, that is because they are a member of my channel. And you can be a member too for as little as 99 cents a month. All you got to do is click that join button. You will also get green in your name. You'll get that red Chicago star next to your name. And at the end of the day, it's just a way to support me. Any support is appreciated. You will also get to use custom emoji, and you'll get your name on the intro and outro to every one of my live streams. All you got to do is click that join button. If you cannot find that, you can go to youtube.com/PhoneJerome/join. And that's it. So, okay, let's move on, guys. Let's move on to this next story here. This article from 9 to 5 Google is talking about Google warning against side-loading Android 11 developer preview 4 from the June security patch. So my Pixel 4 already got the June security patch, which is great. But now they're saying that if you have that June security patch, do not side-load Android 11 developer preview 4. And it's saying here, let's see here. If you want to install DP4 on a device running the Android 10 June 2020 update, please note that side loading it will not work properly and could cause device issues. To install DP4, you can flash an image from the downloads page instead. How many of you guys in here do this? I mean, I do. And usually if I don't get the update right away, I'll side load it, or I will flash. I mean, this isn't new to me. This is something I've been doing for a bit, but just FYI, if any of you guys are planning to sideload, don't sideload it. If you already got the June update, flash the image instead. So just to avoid any kind of issues. Anyway, just what do we call that? That's a PSA. That's what I was trying to say. A PSA for you guys. Okay, so moving on, continuing with Google. This article from The Verge, I actually got this from Brian. Brian, thank you for sharing this with me. I actually saw this article and I didn't get a chance to read it until Brian sent it out. But this article from The Verge is saying Google pulls popular app that helped remove Chinese apps from phones. And speaking of Brian with the dollar super chat. Brian, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the continued support. FYI, guys, Brian is on his 50th something stream in a row of continued super chat. So Brian, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. Again, you guys know, or anyone else who super chats, you guys know that it means a lot to me. Appreciate the continued support. So thank you so much. Okay, so let's continue on. The Remove Chinese Apps app, the app was literally called Remove Chinese Apps. That's what this app was called, guys. Violated Google's deceptive behavior policy. Google has removed a popular Indian-developed app from its Play Store that promised to find and remove Chinese apps from smartphones. The search giant confirmed to Gadgets 360 that the app, which was called Remove Chinese Apps, was removed for violating its deceptive behavior policy, which prohibits software from encouraging or misleading users into removing or disabling third-party apps. So, So an Indian, was it an Indian made app, right? Or was made in India, and a developer or whoever, a team created an app called Remove Chinese Apps app. Am I understanding that right? The app's removal comes at a time when a Himalayan border dispute is driving anti-Chinese sentiment in India. I don't know if Daniel is still in here, but if he was, I'm sure he could chime in on things that are going on with China and India. I'm not privy to it. That the situation has led to some Indian celebrities calling for their fans to delete Chinese developed apps like TikTok from their phones, in a move which appears to have the backing of some within India's ruling BJP party. Before its ejection from the store, Remove Chinese Apps had grown popular in India. Reuters reports that it had amassed over 5 million downloads since late May and was the top trending free app in the country. The app worked by scanning phones for Chinese apps like ByteDance's TikTok and Alibaba's UC browser before giving the option to keep or remove. If no Chinese-made apps were found on a phone, a pop-up message read, "You are awesome. No China app found." In light of the Indian-Chinese tensions, Indian users have directed their anger at the ByteDance app TikTok, leading to the release of an Indian-developed alternative called Mitron. I wasn't aware. However, Mitron has also been removed from the Play Store for violating Google's policies. The developer of Remove Chinese Apps, One Touch App Labs, confirmed the removal on its website, but claimed the app is meant only for educational purposes and does not promote or force people to uninstall any of the applications. It's such a weird, first of all, it's such a weird name to name the app. I mean, obviously, I guess it's very in your face. I see Daniel saying, wouldn't it be funny if the app just removed the Chinese components from the plane of existence? You know what? You know what's so funny about that? Let me add on to that. What if you bought a phone that was made from, well, I mean, every phone, right? But like, imagine a Huawei phone, because Huawei right now cannot have any Google services on it. So if you install the Remove Chinese Apps on a Huawei phone, would it just remove all the apps on the phone? It's crazy. Daniel says here, China and India are currently very upset at each other. It follows usual reasons, plus the global downturn causes the inevitable blame some other country for your interest syndrome. There you go. There was a standoff not too long ago between their armies. Thank you, Daniel. Thanks for sharing that knowledge. You know, I can always count on Daniel for kind of keeping me up to date with what's going on. Team Verizon says, Daniel, I can imagine waking up to find my Redmi gone. Just the case left behind. Oh my God. That's a good point. I never really thought about that. I remember reading this. I just kind of shook my head, but yeah. So, okay, guys, let's move on here. I am not going to go through all these stories, guys. There's actually a lot more. And what I might do is talk about maybe some deals. Actually, Oh, I wanted to talk about these headphones though. Maybe we can save it. But Sony released these new headphones called the WH-1000 XM4s. If you guys don't know, I know that the Sony WH-1000 XM3s were the really popular ones, right? Am I not mistaken? These are showing a $348 price tag. Everyone talks about these 1000 XM3s and how good they are. I'd love to test them out still, but I don't know when these are coming out or if they're already out. But I don't know. Maybe I'll read on this and maybe we'll talk about this another day. I do want to talk about a deal though. I don't know who's going to buy this deal right now though, but this article from Android Central is talking about the LG G7 Fit price has dropped to a new low, making it much more tempting. The LG G7 Fit may not have set the world alight when it was released in late 2018, but it had respectable specs for a mid-range phone. Its original $420 asking price probably hampered sales, though it soon dropped to $300. But right now, there is a one-day deal at B&H for the LG G7 Fit. For any of you guys who are looking for a cheap phone under $150 or at $150, you can get an LG G7 Fit right now for $150. The specs on this actually aren't that bad. I mean, they're not the greatest. Let's be honest, but it's $150. So it only has a 32 gig internal storage. It has 16 megapixel camera. It says here impressive speakers, a 6.1 inch quad HD display, but it also runs a Snapdragon 821. So it's not the fastest, but it's still an 800 series. I think this 821 is going to be comparable to what you're going to find in a Snapdragon 765. But again, it's only 32 gigs of internal storage, but you can put a micro SD card in there for expandable storage. So it might not be the worst at $150. What can you buy? What can you buy right now at $150? I mean, other than a used phone. This is a new phone, I think, right? It's not refurbished or anything. You can get the device is unlocked, and you can look. It'll work with almost all. No, it works with all carriers in the 4G spectrum, and it doesn't say that it's refurbished or anything. There was a small part of me that was thinking about buying it, especially for a new price at $150. But then again, I literally, you know what? Let me just share with you guys. I sit here. I sit here and I talk about how it's like I should save money for that. I should save money. I should save money for the phones because I just don't have enough phones, guys. Like and my iPhone is here somewhere. I don't know where. Anyway, $150 for the LG G7 Fit. I know that this phone can be modded too. You can ROM this phone if you really wanted to ROM it yourself. So just FYI, I say I would buy one, but I really don't need one. I think I really want to buy that Xiaomi Mi 9T first anyway, and I still have a bunch of other videos to do, so I'm not even, yeah. Anyway, there's that deal. And what else do I have here? I don't think we can end it with, okay, we'll end it with this. Team Verizon says, Jerome flexing. Sean says, you're balling. No. Here. First of all, this A71 is getting returned, and I bought it for $365. So it is a nice phone, but I'm not keeping it. Especially at $365, because I can get the Xiaomi Mi 9T for $265 for the 64 gig version, and I might buy that one. This OnePlus 6T is the T-Mobile version that I bought like a while ago, and I'm actually selling that. And then this is my Nexus 6P, guys. This is the phone. This is one of the phones that started it all. For you guys who have been with me, I know Sean's been with me for a while. This phone has been beat to death, but it still works, and it's still one of my favorite phones, and I'm not getting rid of it. Pixel 4, yes, I spent the $800 on that. And then this TCL 10 Pro I got for free from TCL, which I'm sure TCL is not happy because I meant to make more videos for them, and I haven't done it yet. Anyway, moving on. Let's get back into OnePlus. And if anything that OnePlus is known for, it's their jackets. Just kidding. This article from Android Community says OnePlus launches contest for jacket designs. In the midst of all the various concerns facing people right now, the thing that consumers would want more from their favorite electronic brand is a jacket. Well, that's what OnePlus is offering its loyal customers, or at least the chance to create a design for the jacket that they will give their quote core customers. The Chinese OEM is inviting users to co-design a community exclusive jacket, and in exchange, the winners will get goodies and the jacket itself, as well as bragging rights. I'm a fan of phones. Would you wear a OnePlus jacket? I would. Okay. Wait. I would wear a Google shirt. I would wear a shirt with an Android. Now I need to get these shirts because I don't own any of these shirts. I'd wear a Google shirt. I'd wear an Android shirt. I don't know if I'd wear a OnePlus jacket. I feel like, especially when you wear a jacket that has maybe a OnePlus patch or something to it, I don't know. That seems a little too much for me. Then again, I also wear really like cheesy t-shirts or corny ones, so I don't know. Anyway, let me get back into this article. If you have nothing better to do, and just enjoy designing things or joining contests, you have until June 5 to sign up for all contest related notifications. You can already download the template that you need for your submission, or you can use our online design tool as well. I guess if you wanted to design a jacket for them. Yeah, I didn't know this was for designing. I thought it was just a contest for getting the jacket, not also designing it. Huh. Okay. Anyway, that's it. If you want, then I'm sure you guys can find it somewhere. I don't think anyone here is really interested in designing a jacket for OnePlus. Sean says here, I've been here since the early days. Yep, you have. That's why I thought of you right away, because I've seen you here since the very beginning, Sean. Deepak says, get the Mi 9T. That pop-up is very nice. Camera's not so much. I know that's what you've shared with me. I do want to get it. I will get it, actually. That is going to be, and if I don't get the 128 gig internal version, I will get the 64 gig, and I'll probably get the red one. Team Verizon says OnePlus Formula One uniform. There you go. That actually wouldn't be bad. That actually would be kind of cool. I wonder if OnePlus is ever going to work with McLaren again. That would be cool if they did. My buddy actually, I've known him since since we were in grade school. He's actually an F1. Well, he's a race car aerodynamicist, and he used to work with. Well, he used to work with F1 Williams, and then McLaren for a short amount of time. And I think now I forget what he's doing now. He's back in the States now. It's been a while since I've talked with him, but I was always so jealous. He got to go to all the races and he did all this cool shit. And I'm like, man, I should have went to school for something so cool. I don't have the smarts to be that. But yeah, I haven't watched F1 in a while. Deepak says, I got a never settle backpack. Looks nice, but do you use it? Do you carry it around with you, Deepak? I don't know if I would. I don't know. Lonky Games, man. It's been a minute. Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. Yo, Jerome, have you thought more about that awesome 500? Yo, Jerome, have you thought more about that awesome $500 triangle phone you looked at yesterday? Did you see my comments on that, Lonky Games? For you guys that don't know what awesome $500 triangle phone Lonky Games is talking about, that is a phone that someone on stream, Ed, I can't remember Ed's last name right now. He had shared it with me, and I took a look at it, and it was called the Prometheus, made from somebody named Brandis. That's actually the guy's last name, and he has it on the phone concept. God damn it. I should just look for it. Give me a second here, guys. Let me switch over here. I just want to talk about it real quick. Okay, so it's this phone. This phone here, right here. And we'll go through other pictures of it. This has LED lights here, has a dual camera setup, and that triangle part is here. Wait, where is it here? It's right here. see this bottom? You see how it like triangles at the bottom, right here too. And I actually considered, see, it says here the first 1,000 pre-orders will get an exclusive 50% discount. And so I actually thought about pre-ordering this phone because it came with a Snapdragon 865 with 512 gigs of internal storage, 16 gigs of RAM. So it was like spec to the max, right? Had everything. And I was like, $500, how could I not? And then I went to Google it. And then I went on Reddit, and people on Reddit were saying, listen, this guy has been trying to sell this phone forever. And they were saying also, like, it says the first 1,000 pre-orders, but this guy has now over $300,000 of money in there. So it's well over the 1,000 pre-orders. I think this guy's just trying to collect as much money as possible. I don't know. And so I was like, never mind, I will pass. People were saying the specs he wants to put on that phone are nowhere close to what they're pricing it at. So I was like, okay, never mind. I'll pass on it. Team Verizon says that camera module looks like some ancient Chinese medallion type thing. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of like really surprised at it, and I'm like, how have I never heard of this? But then again, it's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't trust it because I don't know if I'm ever going to get my money back when I get it. Deepak says, or if I ever get it, no Jerome JanSport or Eastpak for daily usage. Yeah, same here, Deepak. I actually only use JanSport. Right now I have 2 of them. I've been meaning to buy a third one. But yeah, same here. JanSport for me. Ronaldo says, also, I want to test the cameras out and see the difference in the Pixel and iPhone. There you go. There you go. Lonky Game says, I've been wondering how a small company like that can make such a, quote, good phone with crazy specs at a low price while Google can't. Yeah. And so maybe it's not as good as as it seems, or it's too good to be true. And I'm actually glad that I did a little research before, because I almost really did plunk the money down for it, or not plunk the money down, but charge my credit card on it. And I'm glad I didn't. I see Rusiru Batuwata. Hopefully I said that right. Rusiru Batuwata. Tell the people Xiaomi downgrade their stock camera software after 1 year after they release a new device. So when they downgrade their stock camera software, are you saying that they just made it worse? Or are you saying they didn't support it? Because for me, if I got that Xiaomi Mi 9T, the one thing I was going to do was just Gcam it and then test it out with Gcam, although Deepak says it's not that great anyway. But I might just get it just to like ROM it and put the Pixel Experience ROM on it and then test it out. But Rasiru, I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Rasiru, thanks for joining the stream, man. Appreciate you joining the chat. Thank you for sharing that info. Yeah, I don't have high hopes for the camera either. I don't know how well it would do. I just know that at a $265 US price point, it seems like a pretty good price for what it comes with. But yeah, thank you for sharing that info, though. Thank you. And I think, guys, that might be it at this point. Guys, before we wrap this up, I do want to thank everybody for stopping by. Real quick, before I do go, again, one more time, for anybody who's in here, if you see people that have green in their name and a red Chicago star next to their name, that is because they are a member of my channel. You can be a member too for as little as 99 cents a month. You'll get green in your name. You'll get a red Chicago star next to your name. You'll get to use custom emoji, and you'll get your name on the intro and outro to every one of my live streams. All you got to do is click the join button. You could do for as little as 99 cents a month. If you can't find that join button, just go to youtube.com/PhoneJerome/join. And I think that is it. I'm thinking here. I think that is it. I'm trying to also find the outro and not try to do this seamlessly, and I never can because now I'm just like looking for the outro. But guys, I do want to thank everybody for joining the stream. Guys, thank you so much for spending the hour with me, or hour and 20 minutes. It's been fun, but we are going to do this again tomorrow. So if you guys are watching this, if you're listening right now, come back tomorrow. We're going to do this again. We're going to talk spend another hour talking tech, spending time in chat, and then just saying hi to everybody and saying what's up. Let me see here. Team Varai says, enjoy the news and chat. Thank you, Team Varai. Deepak says, Xiaomi phones are good all-rounders with very good battery life. They don't excel in anything in particular. Thanks. Yeah, it sounds like a good all-arounder, at least in that respect. Thanks, Jerome. Thank you, Deepak, for making it. Always good to see you, Jerome. Always good to see you too, Ronaldo, or have you in the stream. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Guys, thank you so much. We'll leave it there. Come back tomorrow. We're going to do it all over again. Have a good have a good one, guys. Appreciate you guys so much. LEJ, great stream. LEJ, thank you so much. Thank you for being a new member. Appreciate it. I think you are the 20th member on my channel. So thank you for joining. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, tomorrow we'll do it again. Come back. We'll have more stuff to talk about. And there are a lot of stories I didn't get to today because the hour went by a lot quicker than I thought. I'm going to stop talking. Music is going to start playing, and see you tomorrow. Bye.